Oh shit, I didn't. Man, I gotta restart. Oh, I don't want to restart. Welcome to the channel, y'all. I go by Sandman Jones, and today is just a little bit of a shorter video where I talk about what I'm actually up to as an author. Most of the stuff I talk about here on this channel is what I've been learning as an author and stuff like that. But yeah, some people are probably going to know, what am I actually writing? What am I doing? So yeah, here is a quick update, broken into a few parts. First part, my first book, The Funk City Chronicles, which is about science fiction break-in battles and hip-hop culture 1,000 years in the future, is off at the editor right now. This is what's known as the copy edit, which is where they go through line by line, looking at sentence structure, grammar, pretty much everything except big story elements. And they make a bunch of suggestions. I decide what suggestions I will use, what I don't, and then it goes off to the proofreader. So for the copy edit, Tamara at Wordwiser Inc. is doing that. I'm really excited to get it back from her. I'm sure it's going to be awesome. And then after I work on making those changes, then it goes off to the proofreader. So for that, I am working with Jay Berry Proofreading. She seems really awesome to work with. I can't say too much yet because, we're still a few steps away from me actually sending my manuscript to her. But yeah, after the proofreader, after Jay Berry takes care of it, then it will get formatted. I'm going to have it formatted for ebook and paperback, maybe hardcover too if I can. I would love to do hardcover too. And not audiobook now, audiobook down the line probably, hopefully. I really want to, but I just don't have the money for it at the moment. So yeah, the Funk City Chronicles, science fiction break-in battles, should be coming out sometime this summer. We'll have a cover reveal sometime soon once that's ready. It's looking awesome so far, but we're just going to wait till it's actually ready. So yeah, the Funk City Chronicles is the first in a trilogy. However, my next book, the one I'm about to start working on, is not part of that trilogy. It's kind of me giving myself a little break from Funk City, which I love, but is a lot of work. There's 5 point of view characters. It's science fiction fantasy world building. There's a lot that goes into that one. I wanted something a little simpler, and I really enjoy telling stories about hip hop. That's kind of my niche right now, I guess. I had this idea for a story about a rapper who gets his hands on some haunted beats. And I actually already have the title for this one. It's Beats from the Beyond. So, yeah, I don't even have, the first chapter yet. I have a basic structure in my head. I'm waiting to just kind of get my YouTube channel really solid off the ground, doing a lot of filming and editing and just kind of getting used to this platform so I can start dedicating time to writing my books again. But yeah, so Beats from the Beyond I'm going to be starting on soon. It is about a rapper who gets his hands on some haunted beats. It's probably going to be about novella length, but I don't actually know yet, so I will tell y'all more once that is underway. But just a really quick heads up of what my process will look like, what to expect from me working on this story. So it starts with me writing the first chapter. I usually have some ideas, but I wait to do the outline until I've written the first chapter, kind of dip my toes into the story, get a feel for what this is going to be like to write, what's the tone, what's it going to be like, get a feel for it. Then, once I have a feel for it, like I said, I already have a bunch of ideas, but then I go through and actually write the outline. Now, this outline is probably going to change a lot as I go, but for now, I have an outline. I know where my story is going. I have my first chapter, and then I get to the grind of actually fucking writing the story. That's the first draft. I go through with the outline, and normally I end up with something that has a bunch of plot holes and continuity errors and a bunch of characters that don't make sense and a bunch of just nonsense that's just a big fucking mess. It's a first draft. This is how my first drafts look. Not everyone's are like that, but with my style, with my approach, first drafts are a big fucking mess. So the second draft will probably take longer than the first, even though I already have the thing written at that point. In my experience, knowing my process, normally the second draft, that's where I have to fix all the shit that's wrong with it. Sometimes this means rewriting certain parts or certain characters over and over. Sometimes this means scrapping entire scenes. Sometimes this means trying all sorts of different things, gutting story elements, adding new ones. There's just a lot of stuff that goes on in that second draft. I don't know what the challenges will be yet. That one's probably going to take longer than the first. And then if my process in my last book holds true, then once I get to the end of that second draft, the story will work. All the story elements will be there, the themes, the ideas, everything is there. Then it's time to go through and clean that shit up. So that last pass is pretty much strictly prose and I guess character voices as well, but mostly just prose. And I go through, the way I do that one is I actually read it aloud to myself. I read my work aloud, and if it doesn't sound right, I fiddle with it, and I keep reading it aloud until it sounds right. Usually at the end of those days, my voice is the most tired part of me. But yeah, on those drafts, I can usually go fairly quick. I usually pull some really crazy days, because at that point, I'm just like, I want to be fucking done with this shit. At that point, normally I've been working on it forever. Or it feels like forever at that point. Once again, this is what happened with my last book. This is what I assume will happen with my next book. I don't know. Maybe it'll take more drafts. Maybe it'll take less. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see what happens once I get there. So yeah, first book, self-publishing. Second book is about to be written. I'm also researching for my third book. That's the sequel to the Funk City Chronicles. I have a name for it, but it's so far out that I can't talk about the work yet, aside from to say I am researching it. I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to execute certain world-building elements, especially considering the equity concerns with being a white person writing about black art form, which I talk about in a video that you can watch if you haven't already. But yeah, so researching the third book while I am about to start writing the second, and self-publishing the first. And then lastly, I also have some short stories that I write when I just want something easier and less all-consuming to work with than writing a novel, because writing a novel is very consuming, at least for me. So I have some short stories I've written. Some of them are like video game inspired. Some of them are like, seeing can I take a drunk conversation with my brother and turn it into a story? The answer is yes. The question remains, is it good? Nobody knows that one. So yeah, I have some short stories. Something I've seen other YouTubers who discuss writing do is they'll put their short stories up on Patreon. Obviously, it is way too early for me to start a Patreon, but maybe one day I will start a Patreon so I can put my short stories up there and get some audience interaction where people can read it and just, give me some feedback, stuff like that. So yeah, that is, in a nutshell, what I'm up to. I am self-publishing my first book, writing my second book, researching my third book, and trying to figure out what the fuck I'm going to do with my short stories. So yeah, that is what I'm up to. That is the author update. I don't know when the next one's going to be. I'll try to keep y'all in the loop with what I'm up to, but there's a lot of different shit I want to make videos about, and it might just take a while to write this. So we will see what happens. Either way, thank you for stopping by. I go by Sandman Jones. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to support what I do and be part of the conversations that we have here. And thank you for checking this out. Until next time, peace, y'all.